85. Channel 85.
Hello, Sam.
Little S, big A, little M. What up, Brandonovich?
Osedax.
Osedax to you too. What are you talking about?
Osedax were discovered in Monterey Bay on the decaying carcass of a whale.
That sounds delicious.
Was deposited on the ocean floor.
Guys, did you know that I lived in Monterey, actually?
I did not.
I did. I lived there for a while. Great aquarium.
I hear it's beautiful.
It is. It is very beautiful. I was just up there recently. But that's besides the point. So what?
Osedax. So in about 2002 or 2004, researchers at the Monterey Bay Aquarium went and looked at a decaying whale carcass that was on the ocean floor in the Monterey Bay. And they found worms that had grown in the bones of this decaying whale.
Gross.
And
were they there after it died, or did they get in there before it died?
After it died.
Okay.
And after the skin and the muscles were gone. And these worms grow like little plants, and they grow, it's as if they grow roots into the bones.
How are they worms then? I mean, I guess I don't really know what worms are, but that's fine.
Well, these are worms, annelids.
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 New words.
And they actually extract their food from the whale bones.
Like the marrow?
Like the marrow, and there's fat in the whale bones, and even some of the calcium. They have a acidic mucilage that is around.
All of these words just sound so good, right? Right,
so it's
viewers?
Like acidic mucus that they put on the outside of their body in the bone to help dissolve it, and then they absorb that, and they use that for their food. Something that's interesting.
More interesting things. I can't wait.
Osedax that you see, they look like little plants with feathery extensions, almost little flowers, and they kind of do this in the ocean currents.
Sea anemones.
Yes. They're related to the tube worms that grow at the ocean vents that eat strange things that are down in the ocean vents. So these Osedax, they help decay the whale carcass. And the ones you see are females. The females colonize the bone, the whale carcass, skeleton, and then they take in embryonic-sized male Osedax that live inside in a vessel inside their body. And it's as if they're keeping a harem of male Osedax for reproduction. And so the males are dependent on the females for nutrition.
That's the only redeeming quality of this entire conversation I've heard so far.
These worms weren't known before, and since then, scientists have looked at whale carcasses off the coast of Scandinavia and other parts of the world, and within a few months of the whale carcass being deposited, those same carcasses and skeletons are colonized by Osedax.
Weird. And gross, and gross, and really gross, and there was mucus involved, so extra gross.
The Osedax seem to have a worldwide distribution.
Keep it coming.
But there are many, many species. On the one body, the one whale carcass in the Monterey Bay, they found about 15 species of the Osedax. What's curious, though, is if the whale carcass is the main source of food, whale falls, as it's called, don't happen that often. So how are these species perpetuating themselves, and how do they find one carcass to another, or do they live?
So it's only on whale carcasses, or I mean, what about like shark carcasses? That's a phrase I never thought I'd say, or you know, cute little dolphin carcasses, or.
A researcher actually suspended cow bones in the ocean water, and within a few months of putting those carcasses, those bones in, the Osedax colonized those bones. So they will colonize other types of bones, but still, how often do cows wash into the ocean and end up on the ocean floor?
I'm going to go with not often.
So it's unknown whether there are other food sources or habitats that the Osedax live on, or if they're just able to sustain themselves purely on whale bones. something else that's interesting is researchers have looked at ancient bird-like bones that were in the ocean floor, and this is going back potentially millions of years. And those bones seem to exhibit the same tunneling that the whale bones exhibit as tunneling of Osedax. So the Osedax may have
So maybe like a super old living organism is basically what you're saying.
a super old
like
type of organism.
Type of organism that hasn't probably changed very much.
Hasn't changed very much.
Over the course of millions of years.
But
That's actually cool.
But has changed the type of species that it feeds on.
Well, yeah, as the rest of the world changes, it remains the same. That's actually kind of cool. I'll give you that one. The rest of it, totally gross. Just completely disgusting, and I just never want to talk about it again.
So there's a lot more to learn about Osedax since they're pretty newly discovered and not much is known.
That's pretty cool. Well, I mean, I guess if they have any questions or comments about Osedax, that mucus thing, or the really cool fact that, you know, they've been around for a long, long time and haven't really changed that much, send them our way at scientificstation.com.